Hello everyone, and welcome to my first race weekend as a Force India driver. This particular video is going to be a qualifying session around the Hungaroring in Hungary. So as you can see there, hopping into my car. I have actually got a cold at the moment, I don't know if you can hear it, but there we go. I thought soldier on and all that. Still want to get videos out for you as often as I can. So just going into the gearbox settings now and tweaking my 7th gear a bit shorter, as I did find in practice that the 7th gear was just a bit too long. Even with DRS I was only, well, I don't think I was even quite reaching the rev limiter actually. So going straight for a flying lap then, no messing about, straight to rich mixture, and also setting my brake bias rearward. Okay, so coming around the last sector now then. Don't need to worry about getting my tyres up to temperature. That's when you select flying lap, they're already fully up to temperature when you start. So trying to get my power down as early as I can then, which I have done, DRS wide open, using as much gas as I can before the line. Hoping for a good result, hoping to get into quality 3 with this Force India. But we'll have to wait and see about that one. So bringing to the first corner, I've had a few problems with that in practice. Kept overshooting it, but I've pretty much nailed it this time. So as always then, just get a sort of a banker lap in really, first, just to get something that's roughly representative. And then go for a second lap where I push a lot harder. So end of the first sector then. Ooh, so run a bit wide there. You want to be bouncing over that curb on the inside if you can. 29.0 first sector. Coming to second sector, running it out widely. Wide, just nice rather. So bouncing over the curbs, you've got to be careful not to get too much oversteer on the exit of that last corner. And coming around this windy section, which just feels so pathetic as you understeer a lot. Regardless of what car you got, it must be said. So already feeling then that this Force India is performing much better than my Caterham did, which is good. So DRS open once again then, coming to the end of the third sector. Let's see what lap time I can manage. So coming to the last corner now then, it's important to try and stick to the inside as I have done there. Get DRS open as early as you feel as possible, using the rest of my cars to the line. So 21.946 then, so not a bad time. Going to keep my foot in it there and go for a second lap, as I said. We'll go for it a bit more on this second lap. So I've outbraked myself a little bit into the first corner, but didn't really lose any time. Locked me inside wheel a little bit, and the rear did step out on me. As this Kobayashi there in the side was rather getting in my way, but didn't really slow me up too much. So DRS open all around this second corner then here. So coming to the end of the first sector, let's see if I'm going to be up my previous. I'm not, I'm 3/10 down, so that first sector must have cost me a lot. And also Kobayashi getting in my way. I'll still keep pushing though, because depending on how quick the last lap was, I might still be able to claw that back. Might as well. If not, I'll push to the end and then come in the pits. So, ooh, let's get a bit of oversteer there. Have to correct it.
Paul's currently in second.
So, get a bit of dirt on the inside tyre there. Run it nicely wide as my engineer tells me that the rest is second, but actually he's gone straight down to third place there. So, ooh, I've gained 3/10 back then, so I'm clearly able to get another 3/10 out of it in the middle sector. Ooh, so I run very wide there and don't wind up opening my DRS because I opened it and it shut it for me again. I didn't realise, so lost a little bit of time there. Probably lost about half a tenth or so. But other than that, this last sector is looking pretty good. Not quite perfect, but pretty good. What's it going to be? It's a 21.977. It's actually 3/100 slower than my previous. So all that pushing hard didn't actually pay me at all. So just advancing time now then. It's a bit strange as Senna there appears to be second with the rest of third and Ricciardo fourth. Hamilton's down in fifth. A second off me and Senna's the closest. That's a bit strange. I think, I don't know, perhaps not. I'm not sure what's going on here. A bit strange, but there we go. Should, nonetheless, that lap should be good enough to see me through to the next session. So that's always a good thing. So somehow it looks like me and DeResta have got the pace to be right at the front of the grid. I think DeResta scored something like 2 or 3 points before this race weekend, so I wasn't expecting him to qualify in the top 10, but we'll see how it plays out. That was only quali 1. I expect the front runners to pick up some pace. Ready for quali 2. So we see a couple of shots of the track then. I'm buckling up my helmet. And I'm in the car, so not going to mess about too much. Just check my tyres there. Going for a U set.
The scrub tyres are up to temperature.
Just changing a few things around there, making sure I've got rich mixture and the brakes are set to rearward. So using a set of used option tyres there, the same set I used in the last session, because hopefully I should be able to get through on these used options. So that will save me 2 sets for quality 3, so I can have 2 brand spanking new sets. That would be good. So we'll see then. Coming across the line, so it was a 21.9 was my previous lap in quality 1, so if I can match that, that should be enough. But we'll see how much pace the rest of the pack picks up. So was I lock the inside wheel, getting a run wide there, right off the track. In fact, that wasn't fantastic at all. But there we go. I'll still keep going round. So just trying to pick up the time that I just lost then, with the DRS open, through that fast right-hander there. Not so easy to do, you have to be very careful with the steering, because Hamilton's right on my racing line there. That would have, if this was real, that would have certainly been a penalty for Hamilton there. That was terrible driving. Right on the racing line into a high-speed corner, not the best idea. There we go, I managed to get around him and I'm still pushing. But I've still got a lot of cars left, so let's see if I save that for the start-finish straight to get me started on the next lap. Although I don't need all that actually, I only need a bit, because it's quite a short run down to the line. But I do save it all anyway. So 1 minute dead, first 2 sectors then. But as we know, with the things we've seen, this isn't going to be a fantastic lap. Locked up into the first corner, Hamilton got in my way, so I'm not expecting this to be a good lap, but I need the next lap to count. So going across the start finish line, yes, it is indeed a 23.3, so 21.9 was my previous best, so about 1.5 seconds slower than my previous best. So that's not good. So I managed to hook the braking up nicely there. Do wind up running wide and get a bit of oversteer, but I do manage to not lock up and nail the apex, that's a good thing. So coming around this first sector then, once again DRS wide open, trying to avoid the curve on the left there if you can. End of the first sector then, 10th.5 up, so that's a bit more like it. Ooh, 4 tenths down on Alonso already though, so 21.1 from Alonso, very quick lap there. So it looks like they have come alive indeed. So I think they only managed 22 something, maybe even 23 something in 21. We're well down to the 21s now, so they have picked up a lot of pace. I'm still pushing, so Hamilton's getting quite close behind me there. But I'm still pushing hard. Just trying to get a decent lap in, at least equal to what I done previously. So 8 tenths up on my previous lap, 1.1 down on Schumacher though, who's done a 20.9. So looks like I'm on for that 21.9. So I think I might have said Schumacher did 21.9. He did a 29. I'm looking for a 21.9. That would equal my previous session's best. Although I am on the same set of tyres, so it would be an achievement if I was able to manage that. Let's see. Coming across the line now. It's 22.3. So exactly a second up my previous. So it wasn't a perfect lap, wasn't an amazing lap. Might just see me through though. We'll have a look at the leaderboards. So I'm in 8th at the moment. Looks like I might just be able to sneak through. As looks like unfortunately we've come across a glitch there. If you look on the sector times, everyone's coming in at the end of every lap. That glitch was there in F1 2011, looks like it still hasn't been fixed. So they'll do a hot lap and then just come in at the end of the lap and go straight back out again. It's just like just constantly doing drive-through penalties. So that guarantees that I'm going to get through then because of that glitch. Unfortunate, I'd rather actually it be a genuine competition. So the rest actually beat me then. There. He did a 21.7, I did a 22.3, but as I said, I was on a scrub set of tyres, so I'm not too worried about that. It's in this session where it counts. So we see a lovely couple of shots there, once again. And we see me getting into my car, so quali 3 then, first race for Force India, and I'm into quali 3, that's always a good thing. We'll see if that glitch continues to make it too easy for me, or if it goes away and we have a proper pole shootout. I hope it does go away, but we'll have to wait and see. So, coming to the end of the lap then. Coming around the final corner, coming across the start finish line. And to get a good lap, DRS wide open, cars fully activated. With the hope of trying to nail a good lap in. Ideally I want it to be a mid to low 1 minute 21. We'll see how that plays out. So coming around then, there's no long left hander. It's not easy at all. Another place there where the car likes to oversteer. Understeer, sorry. So tricky corners then on this track. Not a major fan of this track if I'm honest. It just feels a bit clunky. It doesn't quite feel fluid to me. Fluent. It just feels very clunky, stop-starty. I'm just not a fan at all. It's alright, not a bad track, but it's not great. I personally would rather see something like the Turkish Grand Prix back on the calendar rather than this track. But I'll wait and see what happens next year with the Turkish Grand Prix. It's rumoured to be coming back, isn't it? But I'll have to wait and see on that one. So 58.4 then. Looks like a pretty quick first couple of sectors. We'll see how it plays out towards the end of this lap. So coming around the final bend then. Trying to get the throttle down as early as I can. Pushing me out wide a little bit onto the curb. DRS fully activated. It's a 21.4, so not a bad lap. That's a half a second quicker than my quali 1 lap. So that's a pretty good lap. Coming straight back into the pits then. Don't want to waste any time as it is only a 10-minute long session. So I am indeed top. Oh, we know that top runners can do into the 20s, so unfortunately it looks like we've got the same glitch happening. Look, there's in, not for all of them, but for quite a few of them, it says in the third sector every single lap, so looks like that's going to give me pole position, unfortunately. Not how I wanted to claim pole in the first race for Force India, but there we go. It is how it is. Can't do anything about it. Ooh, Schumacher rather blocks me there. So I fly past both Mercedes as they're backing out of it. They must be coming into the pits, as they seemingly have done every lap. There's 4 cars, 5 cars behind me on the minimap there, so they're all slowing each other up. I wonder if me being out on track might fix their issue, because they certainly managed to set a lap while I was out on track, so it's not like they're just not setting a lap at all. So it looks like they're all coming to the pits, cars behind me. So it hasn't fixed them for now, but I haven't got time to come out now either, so that's over for those 5 drivers. So breaking down into the first corner then, looks like I've nailed the apex and nailed the braking point and nailed the exit, so much better first corner for me. So coming down then into this long left hand once again, so 21.4 to beat, pushing very hard to see if I can beat it. Doesn't look like I'm going to need to, but I would still rather like to beat my personal best. End of the first sector then, 10th down, but that's not too bad. I can probably recover that if I try. It's not major. That's a very good long right hander there. Breaking down into this nasty little chicane then with the curbs. Always invite you in like so. Want to kick the rear end onto the grass, but looks like I've got away with that. Managed to correct it. So coming to the end. Well, yeah, actually going to say coming to the end of the second sector, but it's after this corner. So coming to the end of the second sector about now. So half a second down then. It's not looking like I'm going to be able to improve. Might as well keep pushing though. No harm in backing in pushing, because I will be using the other set of tyres anyway, so it's not like I'm worried about tyre wear. So come around the final corner then, see if I can recover any of that time back and get into the 21s. I count as a 21.7, so I recovered a couple of tenths in the last sector. But indeed, they're pole position by about a second because of a glitch, unfortunately. But there we go, can't do anything about it now. Couldn't do anything about it at the time, can't do anything about it now. So probably didn't have the pace actually to be that high up, but I'm sure that'll come back and pay me dividends, or be against me rather, I mean, in future races, because I'm sure I'll probably be outside the top 10 in a few more races, so all balances out, doesn't it? But they're obviously not going to have that glitch during the race, but I will be starting on pole position then, so fingers crossed that I've got enough pace to stay there. So my next career video, as always, will be the end of next week, and my next league race will be the beginning of next week, so thanks for watching. Bye bye.